So I wanted to talk about content, but also just embracing generative AI in general. So I wanted to give her a couple of stories for myself here. The first is, I shared this presentation with Demand Spring's chief analyst, and the first thing she said to me was, did you use ChatGPT to write the agenda? And I said, no, I did it myself. I would never do that. And I know this has been talked about in the keynotes and things like that. And so she said, well, I know you and your tone, and I know what you wanted to talk about, so I loaded it up for you, and this is the agenda. And I was like, oh, that is pretty close to what I came up with. And she smiled and nodded at me and said, yes, Matt, it is. And suddenly in that moment, I realized I could have saved so much time, and I could have actually spent time tweaking the structure, and this would have been a better presentation for all of you guys. And the second one is, I was talking to one of our board members, and I was saying, hey, I did something the other day, and I put together a proposal, and I was short on time, so I got my ideas down. And for those not in consulting, proposals take forever to build. I was short on time. I'm going to use ChatGPT, and I wrote this one. It started off as a relatively small proposal, so I used it as a thought partner, got it down, produced it a lot quicker. And I said, and this proposal took off, and it was in front of a CMO of a public traded company, and I feel really bad about this. And he said to me, why? And I couldn't really give him the why. I said, well, it was my thoughts, but I just used to shape it, right? And he said, well, let me put you at ease. So I'm going to share the story that he shared with me, right? He said he does a lot of business plans in his line of work. So he said, I use ChatGPT to help me write a business plan. I tweaked it, I took it offline, I tweaked it, and then I took it back and I fed it into ChatGPT, and I asked it to rate how good it was. And I was like, well, you've taken this way further than I have. And he said, it was the best business case I've ever put together. It took me actually a similar amount of time, but the quality was so much better. And it really got me thinking. I was like, if our board members are doing this, like I think we heard in the keynote, everyone's doing it in secret, now really is the time to embrace generative AI.